Hey everybody, welcome back. I was gonna say let's look at the Binding of Isaac. That'll be the freaking day. I think we're due for a random run. I'm not 100% sure, but oh, really? Please tell me this is somehow... It's not a seeded run. Curse of the Labyrinth on the first floor really grinds my gears, man. Especially, you know, there's a tinted rock right there, but we don't have any consumables with which to access it, which makes our life a little trickier. It's been a couple of days since I played Isaac, but you know, I think there's like, I was reading this article because I've been playing so much Counter-Strike lately that I, you know, consume media related to Counter-Strike. I read this article that was like, just basically tips and tricks. One of the things they said is like, make sure that, you know, you're in a good mental space to play Counter-Strike. There's like 3 periods. There's the warm-up period, there's the tilting period, which is after you've like started to become, you know, tired and somewhat emotional. Not to say that you're like breaking controllers or anything like that, but you're not playing, you know, as smart as you want to. You're playing more with emotion. And then there's the period where you're in the zone. I think that's true for Isaac as well. I think there's a little bit of a warm-up period, and then I think you get in the zone, and then I think there's a period where you become fatigued and you start to make dumb decisions. But I think the warm-up for Isaac is really only a couple of floors, and you can be in the zone for a few hours. So I'm just trying to, you know, take it pretty easy here, you know. Oh, geez, I'm tilting already. I was in the zone for about 15 seconds, and of course, we get a Spirit Heart immediately after we take damage, and just before the boss. That's really bad luck. I think I'm just gonna use this already, but the Heart, that is. That's pretty bad luck, and we probably ruined our chances at a deal with the devil here, but that's okay. We'll save that Spirit Heart and we'll take it down to the next floor. All is not lost. Again, like the second floor deal with the devil is important, but it's also kind of a free one if you can still manage to get the third one. What you really want to avoid is, oh, I got hit so I didn't get that first deal with the devil. As a result of not getting that first deal with the devil, I didn't get the items necessary to allow me to be strong enough to not take red heart damage before the second deal with the devil, and then it just spirals out of control, and eventually you find yourself at the end of the run wondering, you know, what the heck happened. Hopefully, we can avoid that here. If we don't take red heart damage against the boss, of course, you know, if you've been watching recent episodes, you're already aware of this. You don't need me to say it, but if we don't take damage against our upcoming bosses here, we should have a, like, 1/3 chance of getting a deal with the devil, which is pretty solid. It has happened that way in the past. Wire coat hanger, I consider to be a, I would say, an A tier item, maybe a B tier item. Oh, that was bad. I got trapped in the web there. This guy was right on me. So I would really consider our deal with the devil chances now to be nil, but that's okay again. We've got those Spirit Hearts for the next floor. As far as boss items go, I think wire coat hanger is an A item. As far as items overall in the game, maybe it's a B item, because, you know, you've got other, you know, high-powered, consumable generators and, you know, like the nail and Book of Revelations and stuff like that, deals with the devil and stuff to factor in. But as far as boss items go, you know, this is up there. Tiers upgrades for me are occasionally, especially when we're Maggie, I guess, a little bit more valuable even than HP upgrades, although obviously we're going to try to use that HP for some important stuff as time goes on. So now we're just playing old school Isaac. This is 2011 era Isaac. Open up the item rooms, take the Spirit Hearts down to the next floor. Don't forget about them. It's like that Simple Minds song. Don't you forget about Spirit Hearts. It doesn't really work, but don't, yeah. Celtic Cross, decent. One of the best things about Celtic Cross is the way it allows us to play blood banks a little bit more, I don't want to say religiously, but a little bit more confidently. This is a weird room. You usually see a tinted rock there. Beyond that, the other good thing about Celtic Cross is that it takes an item out of the deal with the angel pool. It's a good item, and that's, like, even a bad item, like, let's say, the Bible. It takes an item out of the deal with the angel pool if that's the route that we decide to go on this run. But this is, like, doubly good, because you get a good item, and you get, you know, a greater chance to get better items in the future as well, if you go that route again. So Lard slows us down, but makes us very, very tanky from an HP perspective, so we're really going to be looking to get that, deal with the devil stuff going on the next floor, because we have enough HP to trade for pretty much anything as long as it increases our damage potential. And, you know, it's a nice bonus that a lot of the items that increase your... Just get the hell out of there. A lot of the items that increase your damage from deals with the devil, or increase your defense even, also give you speed upgrades. Lord of the Pit, the Mark, I believe the Pact does as well. Doesn't need to increase it by much to compensate for the fact that we picked up Lard. Well, we can't really do anything with that. Also, do keep in mind that if we end up getting Nun's Habit, we can almost certainly play the Blood Bank. I wouldn't necessarily say ad infinitum, but really, really, really aggressively, because once every 4 or 5 plays, we'll get Polaroid, well, just invincibility. It's not really related to the Polaroid, I suppose. And then Yumheart will come back, especially if we get the Nun's Habit or something like that. It's just... Actually, I guess if we get the Nun's Habit, we would be able to play it until the end. Yeah, until it paid out with something. So we're getting to the point where maybe with this last key, we could make our shop worthwhile. I'm totally going to go to our curse room, by the way. Please be good. Okay, well, these pills could be good. Let's see. Ugh. Again, anytime you get 2 pills, I think it's best to take them. Because you can only, like, we could have gotten 2 tiers upgrades, but only 1 tiers downgrade. I think I've said that many times in the past, but you understand where I'm coming from. So this is 6 plus 3. That's 9 cents. That takes us to 14. Doesn't quite give us enough to go to the shop, but I have to do it anyway because it gives us almost certainly enough money to go to the shop on the next floor. It was a terrible place to put it because the flies actually came with me on that one. And I don't think there's anything like I haven't shot. We could go to the shop and try this out, but I don't think it's the right decision. I think instead we just go down to the next floor. If I had like any bombs except for that one that we already used, I would totally be able to get 1 more penny, but hey, shit happens, right? It hasn't been the best first floor of all time, but it's been pretty good. We've got already 7 HP, which is madness. Sure, we got a tiers downgrade, but we also got a tiers upgrade in the form of the coat hanger. And yeah, we got a speed downgrade, but we can take care of that relatively quickly. So really, this floor is all about getting this deal with the devil. If we can get the deal with the devil, life's good. Being able to get enough money to go to the shop probably will... we should pick that up. Probably will happen. And getting another key to be able to go to the item room. Those are like our secondary concerns. But our deal with the devil should be more or less guaranteed. It would also be pretty sweet to be able to take down more than 5 cents so we could spawn an arcade on the next floor. I don't know how likely that is to happen, but we'll see. Mom's Pearl is a great trinket when it works out in your favor. It can be one of the best trinkets in the game. So, again, as disappointing as it might seem that we have Chad here, we're not going to pick up little Chad because our HP's already, you know, just fine. But we're really just going to try to not take very much damage. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. And we're going to very, very, very much... Oh my god, I'm actually going to take red heart damage, aren't I? Okay, don't tilt yet. Don't panic. This is like... There's a lot of reasons why this is a suboptimal boss fight. A big one is he does 1 full red heart damage when he hits you. Here's another big one. He's fast and we're not. We got Lard, so we're slow. It's not just me playing badly. This is actually a fight that, dare I say, actually requires you to be a little bit more... Ooh, I really hope to hit him there. It actually requires you to be a little bit more intellectual in your play, as opposed to just relying on, like, raw dodging. He gets faster as time goes on, too, which is nonsense, but... This is... The prophecy is coming true. I was so confident. If we'd fought almost any other boss in the game, I think we would have been fine. But Lard slows us down so much that it might have been the wrong call to even take it, considering the boss that we fought. But man, that hurts. Alright, well, we're going to have to try to make it work on the next floor then. This is a bad start. You don't want to be slow and weak, and that's kind of the situation that we put ourselves in here. That's the kiss of death. It's a recipe for a very, very unhappy Northernlion midway and onwards through this run. We should still be strong enough now to at least stand up to these enemies. Thankfully, we're not on the catacombs, but we're really going to need to pick up some kind of improved offensive capabilities if we're going to stand much of a chance on this floor. Or we're going to need a staggering amount of HP, and they can happen either way. But I would much prefer to just trade like 1 red heart for Mom's knife or something like that and then really, really have a head start on the competition. But we've had a lot of runs that didn't necessarily adhere to the standard deal with the devil kind of like hierarchy and principles lately. I like them, but at the same time it does generate a little bit of anxiety down in the gut there. Because you never know. If you don't have a reliable source of good items, you might not get good items. It's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Now... We have 1 key, so we're going to focus on our shop. We don't have to worry about rerolls, so, you know, I mean, it's a bad thing strategically, but also it's a little bit of like a mental relaxer to know that we don't have to worry about, you know, using our rerolls in any particular order. Mom's Pearl is the trinket that we want to take with us. Missing Page gives us the, that's the one that gives us the book effect, I think. If I am correct. This is a bad shop, but there's good things about it. We'll be able to buy a key for 5 cents. This will allow us to go to our item room. We can't re-roll notched axe. We could have bought it, but that would be a terrible deal. And we'll be able to play this Judgment now. Hopefully we'll be able to take 5 cents down to the next floor, but we'll definitely, at the very least, be able to go to our item room. That bomb could help us find the secret room. It could be in an obvious location. We're below that 5-cent threshold, but not by much, and we picked up Blue Candle. So, this is huge for us. Blue Candle, good for a couple of reasons. One, crazy damage, which we definitely need right now. And two, it also takes a shop item away so that, you know, every shop that we encounter from now on is more likely to have something like the compass or the passive like Nun's Habit 9-volt, or the compass or map, basically. Not that we have the money necessarily to get it, but still. So this will take us up to 9 cents, which definitely means we can spawn an arcade. Even though we aren't going to have like Yum Heart to give us more red hearts, I think it's still well worth it to do this. Could trade a bomb for a key, but I think instead we'll just use a bomb to hopefully find our secret room here. Did indeed work out. And gives us enough money to make our next shop worthwhile, for sure. Assuming there isn't greed on it, which there totally could be. And our item room, please be half decent at least. Okay, so people are going to be divided on this issue. They always are. Some people are like, never pick up holy water, it ruins a familiar. Some people are like, if you don't have a familiar, pick up holy water. You know, you might as well. I kind of fall in the camp that is a little bit on both sides, which is, if you have to argue about whether a shitty item is worth picking up or not, it's probably not a big deal to leave it behind. I'd rather have, like, the upside of having holy water is much, much lower, or, yeah, is much, much lower than the potential downside, if you know what I mean. If it ruined something like Little Gish, Demon Baby, etc., then I would be displeased. And what is holy water going to give us? Like, occasionally a minuscule poison touch, basically. So Caves 2 is big for us here. First boss only gave us Mr. Boom. Shit happens, that's okay. We're going to be moving along here, and we'll take that pill at the end of the floor, but we're really, really relying on Blue Candle to take out these enemies quickly. Yep, I had a feeling that might happen. Again, that's lard and a lack of speed upgrades really keeping us down right now. Thank you, Celtic Cross, for helping us out here. We could conceivably have, I wouldn't necessarily say died, but found ourselves in a... Look at that nonsense! Blue Candle, like, starts a couple of pixels in front of your model, so you actually don't get the chance to not get hit by those. So again, this is going to really lower our deal with the devil chances here. Oh well, I guess. We're lucky enough that we just got HP back, to be honest with you. But desperately, we could use a speed upgrade. Ooh, this is a little interesting. I don't know if the fire can blow up the TNT. I assume it can, but I can't remember. So we can, at the very least, use Mr. Boom to try to find the secret room, but I'm going to wait until we have one extra bomb, just in case we could bomb our way into a special room as a result. This is a free Spirit Heart here. Probably a little bit too little, too late. I'm going to save it for the next floor. You know, oh, I almost picked it up. I'm going to save it for the next floor, just because I think that's the most prudent thing to do if we're going to keep ourselves alive, basically, or keep our dreams of getting a deal with the devil alive. These guys are relatively in sync with one another. That almost went perfectly. This one will not do anything, which is exactly what I intended. Extra bomb could allow us to go to our item room right away, but again, there's no reason not to just kind of hang out for a little while and make sure everything's getting sorted out. I guess red tiers don't get blown up by a blue candle. Or maybe they do. Sometimes it's just a little finicky. Gotta be getting pretty close to our boss room, and apart from that, like, Eyeless Ooze guy's room, we haven't taken damage, so a little salty about that, but hey, it's nice. Well, maybe not nice, but you can get what I'm saying. It's good to see that the negative effects of lard are actually having an impact. Oftentimes, you just pick up lard and you're like, hey, free HP. Here, lard is actually like, it gave us HP, but it's giving us a maybe disproportionately negative detriment as well, which is uncommon, which in a way makes it a little bit more interesting, you know? Now, keep this up here. We're about... Ooh, well, we got hit on the boss anyway, so there goes our deal with the devil chance. You could argue that maybe I should have taken the Spirit Heart in here, but I really like getting the, like, over 100% chance to just get a deal with the devil. You know, the old-fashioned way. Or the new-fashioned way, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to play this a little bit, but really I want to get some Celtic Cross invincibility so that I can play the Blood Bank kind of guilt-free. And we get a... Oh my god, really? Well, it's not so bad. At least we know now that future blood banks will pay out for us in the proper fashion. And in the meantime, we're going to gamble a little bit just to hopefully get some keys, and that's exactly how this has worked out thus far. That's pretty solid. Alright, given that we're basically done with this floor, I think we'll play until we get down to like 20 cents. I just had to check something in the background here temporarily. Alrighty. I am going to close that and get back to the Binding of Isaac here. So, we're getting close to 20 cents here. Extra bombs, helpful. I hope to find the secret room, even though the bombs might be better used on something like Tinted Rocks later. But anyway, this is our 20th cent here. We'll gamble one more time just while we're waiting for the thing to go. And we got Fly Love as a result. I don't know if I necessarily love that, but hey, it's better to have it than not have it. Plus, look at that sweet little quaff we've got going on. So, people pointed out I named an episode Quaff, and they're like, quaff's a pretty interesting word if you think about it. Yeah, yet another example of the English language being very silly. Yes, I know quaff probably has its origins in French language, but, you know, we say it in English. Quaff. Coiffure. Very weird. I'm not a self-hating English speaker. I'm just saying, as someone who taught English, I spent a lot of time... I don't love the coin purse, so I think I'm just gonna leave it. We've seen our pills. Well, we've seen one pill thus far. It hasn't been that good. More Spirit Hearts is beautiful. I think we will go take that other pill. But anyway, you know, I taught English for a while, and unless I think you are like a formally trained English teacher, because I was not, I, you know, have a degree in biology. I'm not even gonna get Mr. Boom and look for the secret room. I'm just gonna take the bomb here. But unless you... I'm going to take the pill here. Unless you are a formally trained English teacher, I think a lot of teaching someone English just boils down to them being like, hey, why does this stupid thing work in English? Like, why is this one pronounced tough, but that one's pronounced bow? And you just go, well, that's just the way it is, so learn it. Yeah, chemical peel, that's alright. And a Tears upgrade. Maybe the coin purse is worth using, but whatever. Well, not whatever. That's a lame attitude to have. You know what? I think we'll use IV bag a few times and then get enough HP to hopefully... Or get enough money to hopefully buy the coin purse and get more Tears upgrades. Or better pills in general. But yeah, you know, I felt like kind of a bad teacher at some times. But, you know, you really have to be like... Or you think like... You know, there's just a lot of special cases in English. When I was learning English... I mean, mind you, we just learned by immersion, obviously, because it is my first language. But anyway... You know, that's just the way it is. You pronounce it wrong, you say, hey, that's huff. Or then they go, or you say, that's ho, and they say, no, that's not ho, that's huff. And you say, okay, well, I'll commit that to memory and hopefully not make that mistake too many more times in the future. We got a ton of money out of that. I don't even know what tangent I'm on right now. All I'm getting at is that I'm not hating the English language. It allows for such beautiful artistry and, you know, creativity and magic to happen. Very, it's a beautiful language when you can, you know, really you wrap your teeth around it. We're like a snake unhinging its jaw. See, that's just a beautiful metaphor right there. Is that possible in other languages? Probably. I know metaphors are. Don't paint me as some kind of, like, weirdly, you know, ignorant gentleman here. But there's also some strange cases going on. We don't know what this is. Full health. That seems really good. What about this one? Bad gas. And health down. Okay. Honestly, I think a full health pill for a health down pill is sort of an okay trade if we take the full health pill into the late game. So I'm not too salty about this, honestly. And we have 3 Spirit Hearts to back us up for the next floor. And the next floor is pretty much, you know, mission critical for getting deals with the devil. We don't even have rerolls, so, you know, when you're not playing as Isaac, you kind of rely on quantity to give you a decent deal with the devil items. You can get 6 deals with the devil, maybe, if you get 3 and you reroll each one. We're only going to have 2, probably. Or actually, 2 at best. And in fact, it doesn't look like we'll get any on this floor. So instead, we're going to be relying on... Well, thankfully it's the depths, but we're going to be relying on probably taking our Spirit Hearts from this level, and hopefully Spirit Hearts we get on this level, down to the womb and making it work from there. So, oh my god, really? These jerks again? There's some things I like about the fact that we're on an XL floor, but I imagine we're probably gonna... Oh, that's so nice, thank you. I imagine we're probably gonna end up fighting Greed in our shop because we haven't fought Greed yet. And we have a very, very small chance at a deal with the devil. Which is disappointing, and that's, again, why you want to snag those deals with the devil early when you have a much, you know, greater certainty that they're actually going to exist. But this is okay. You know, we're not sunk yet. Even if we don't get a deal with the devil over the course of this run, winning is still, I wouldn't say the likelier possibility, but it's not super unlikely by any stretch of the imagination. You know, okay damage, above standard rate of fire. Blue Candle is a godsend for us right now, and a decent amount of HP. I wouldn't, you know, we had 7 at the end of the first floor, so I wouldn't, or it's an XL floor, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't necessarily say that, you know, with 6 right now, we're really blowing the doors off, but I think we're doing okay. Now, these guys can go to hell. I apologize for using such unartistic language, such rough diction, but in any case, I mean it. It's the ones with the eyes that are faster than me. The eyeless ooze guys are actually not insurmountable. That's got to be born from the French language as well. Surmountable? Insurmontable. I believe it. My French, by the way, is terrible. People always assume that all Canadians speak French. Well, they either assume that all Canadians speak French, or they go like, whoa, you guys speak French down there, or up there. It's another thing. I don't want to get into that for the 900th time. But anyway, yeah, you know, I've taken French language classes, or I took French language classes, I guess I should say, from like 1st grade to 10th grade. But because of the way the education system works, you know, taking 2 months off for summer and not really, ooh, I hit my microphone, not really valuing language classes that much unless you went into immersion programs or stuff like that, my French is still pretty much like, le stylo est bleu. Je suis 25 11. Wait, that's, I'm pretty sure that's not right. Like, I am 25'11". What is that? That's my height. We got Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel's a good pickup for us. Yes, our shop contained greed. This was not unexpected. And to be honest, we deserved it, sort of. It was not undeserved either. Let's put it that way. We have had 2 or 3 useful shops, or at least shops that didn't contain greed. Our time had come. So we're going to be looking for 1 more key, at least, to be able to access our last item room. We've taken 2 deal with the angel items out of the rotation. Maybe deals with the angel are what we should be focusing on. Just grab Sacred Heart, and then, you know, Bob's your uncle. We've probably got a 1 run. Or we could end up grabbing, you know, Scapular instead, which would help, but certainly not as much as something like Mom's Knife would. Hopefully we can get some kind of teleportation card. I'm also hoping for sure that there's an arcade on this floor because, again, it's not 100% guaranteed, but we've got a very good chance at snagging the blood bag. And you might be saying, well, you don't want to use your full health pill to guarantee yourself that blood bag. Most of the time I'd suggest that you're probably right, but I actually think that it's an okay decision to make in this situation because the speed upgrade from the blood bag is probably twice as important, not to put like an arbitrary value on it, but it's important, as important at least as the HP upgrade would be. Maybe more so. Oh, snap. I think I have to stick with Blue Candle, unfortunately. And we haven't really thus far had anything that we want to reroll. But we can still be thankful for this because if our first boss fight gives us something that we don't want, then we can reroll it. This is not me saying like, oh, you know, I get the D6 enough on Isaac runs, I don't need to take it here. This is genuinely me saying that I think even if I were Isaac right now and the same decision presented itself, I would go with Blue Candle. That's terrible damage there. Because I think Blue Candle is what's going to allow us to mitigate the fact that our, you know, tier damage is not very good right now. Really? Just hit him, please. Thank you. I had a feeling this might be our boss area over here. No green nubs, which really sucks because we could have gotten keys for free. But time to go up against our first boss. Oh, it's the ideal boss fight when you're dealing with Blue Candle. Monstro 2, good damage. Doesn't give him any kickback, so all you gotta do your best to keep him in the center. Wouldn't be the worst thing for me in the world if Guardian Angel actually allowed us to hit him a couple times. And also, yeah, we can... Oh, I blew it! I blew it and I lost half of our Spirit Heart. That's probably not the end of the world, but it hurts a little bit. Meat is a great upgrade for us. I am going to explore the rest of the floor because, again, very unlikely we get a deal with the devil on this floor. But hey, I would love to snag... I'd love to gamble a little bit on an arcade, especially if it was like Blood Bank Fortune Teller. I know there's going to be like the 3 Skull Monty, but the 2 big ones, Blood Bank Fortune Teller. Earn some Spirit Hearts, and a very good chance to earn the Blood Bag. And I really can't stress enough how much I would really love that speed upgrade. I'm getting used to low speed right now, which is bad, because it's like the only item in the game that actually, well, that and like occasionally Ipecac, but the only item in the game that makes dodging, and I guess fetus items occasionally, but that makes dodging impossible sometimes. Ipecac on those like AIDS poop rooms, man, they are the worst. It is the worst, I guess I should say, but we can't really do too much about that right now. Oh, well, we're doing what we can do about it, which is trying to find an arcade if one exists. So Flylove, you know, I guess it makes things a little bit easier on this room. I wish that Flylove made it so the flies didn't explode in bullets. I think that that's a fair compromise, because, you know, as is right now, Flylove doesn't really help you that much against bomb flies. Or, how about this? I'll compromise. It could either be that, or Flylove works for, like, the vaginal silkworms and stuff like that. Because those enemies are a pain in the ass, including the bomb ones. If you made them super slow, I would accept that as a compromise. Or, you know, you could just continue what you're doing and do nothing, and I can just complain into the ether, which, honestly, is working out pretty well for everybody involved, I guess. Alright. Thus far, thus good. Doesn't really work when you phrase it like that. It feels weirdly off, because it is. We've been doing okay on this floor. We don't have a key to waste, so I'm not sure why I was so wary about walking in there. But, yeah. I don't know how this run works out. This is a weirdly, like, classic Isaac run. Classic meaning, like, it feels like a run that we could have had, like, a year or two ago. It's weird to say that about a Let's Play series. But it's the truth. You know, Isaac very recently, within the last week, had its 3-year anniversary. It was September 28th. 3-year birthday, I guess you could say, from coming out. It's pretty amazing. I've been playing it pretty much, like, since the day it came out. Missing a few days in between, you know. You can run those numbers for yourself, but 3 times 365 does not equal the number of Isaac episodes we're on, but that's because, for a while, I wasn't doing 1 Isaac episode a day. I was doing, like, you know, 3 or 4 a week. Because I was only doing, like, 1 video a day, period. Anyway. We did not find an arcade. Very disappointing. So we're not going to be using our D6 for anything. And I don't think we're going to trade a bomb. Maybe we'll trade our bomb for a key here. So it really now becomes the next floor. And I know I've been saying that for the entirety of the run so far, but if we really don't get to deal with the devil on the next floor, or Angel, it could work. But I think we haven't set any precedent yet, so I think it defaults to deal with the Angel, I guess is where I'm going with that. I think we're going to be in a tough spot. Even if we get to deal with the devil, it could be bad. You know, Guppy's head, Guppy's tail. How does that help us out? You know, we could take both of them and have like a 40% chance to become Guppy or something like that. Sure, that would help out, but there's always a chance that deal with the devil doesn't pan out for us. But rest assured, no matter what is in it, if it helps us out, I will be picking it up. So Red Mom's fast. This is not necessarily the kiss of death it might seem like for a character that's very, very slow, because we're also going to do a lot of damage to it, wipe out its relatively minimal HP very quickly. We got the crate, that gives us a Spirit Heart, potentially super important. We also got the Joker card. Okay, Pill is full health. We need the Polaroid. We're actually at 4 keys right now, which is amazing. We're going to use the Joker card, because we can get a deal with the devil on this floor and the next floor. Oh, it's big. Okay. The ability to fly, huge. The Pact, huge. Our HP, not as huge as it used to be. But this does allow us to have a really good chance of getting a deal with the devil on the next floor. Again, I'm not sure if this deal with the devil affects our percentage chance of getting it on the next floor like it would if we earned it. But either way, we have enough Spirit Hearts that it'll, worst case scenario, our chances are only halved. And we got a guaranteed deal with the devil. So I'd say that's a 1.5 chance, or 1.5 times chance versus what we had before. So, what we had before in an ideal circumstance anyway. So that feels pretty good. And there's 2 full health pills. We don't need the second one, but... Alright, down to the next floor. 3 Spirit Hearts backing us up. Of course it's Utero XL. So there's no way we get a deal with the devil on this floor. Thankfully we got one on the last floor. Otherwise we'd be in a really tough situation right now. Friends till the end. Decent pill. I'm mostly just happy it's not bad, which could have easily happened. No map, no compass, hopefully no problem. Now, I still don't know if our damage is necessarily proportional to the low amount of health we have right now, but I feel more confident in our situation than I did earlier. Which might be a little foolhardy. Once we start to get hit here, things could go bad pretty quickly. But, you know, this is shaping up to be a challenging but not insurmountable Isaac run. Let's put it that way. That's the way I'd like to phrase this one. We're, I'd say, probably a little bit below average in terms of our strength in all regards right now. Like, our damage is not incredible. Our HP is quite low, especially considering our damage. But I think that there's definitely a win in here if we can make it work for ourselves. We're going to need to get a little lucky, but hey, you always need to get a little lucky to win Isaac. Normally, you just, you know, like to have that luck a little earlier than we have it right here. So the main problem for us is going to be enemies that are fast, or who shoot quickly, which is also, you know, we saw that a little bit with my inability to get away from that troll bomb, but that's also improper positioning on my part. Alrighty. So, we're fine here. I'm going to, oh, I'm going to be a little cautious. I am, really, I mean, I'm disappointed that we don't have any way to generate Spirit Hearts either. That's normally how you get around having low HP, but, every Spirit Heart is absolutely sacred for us right now. If we lose it, it has to be in a situation where it's either a necessary trade, or we don't have a choice in the matter, which is normally how that happens. Like, enemies are just a little bit too fast for us. We take damage, that happens, alright? There's not that much we can do about that if we get chased down. But definitely, I can't afford to be losing them for, like, dumb stuff. There's a lot of dumb stuff potential on this level right here. And we have to be careful because, like, a blue candle will blow up those green bombs, but not in the way we want it to. It'll blow it up in our own face. If we're close enough. Like, that could have gone terribly wrong right there. I was just lucky enough to be, well, A, a little early, and B, standing far enough away that I don't think I would have been hit regardless, but... Oh, even, like, these green bombs right here could pretty easily hit me. Okay, red hearts. Oh, we found the secret room. We'll go back for that. This room is, you know, it's a bit of a Rorschach test. Just like Guardian Angel do your bidding for you. Are you kidding me? I was on top of the rock. I barely moved that whole time. I guess we should just shoot instead of using Guardian Angel. But yeah, we'll check out that secret room, because that could have the, it could make the difference between life and death here. I didn't really look into secret rooms over the course of the run, because we didn't have many bombs very often. Occasionally, yes, but not very often. And we had a lot of XL floors, which makes it pretty difficult to actually even tell where the secret room is. So yes, we are going to gamble here. We need everything. The Joker card is bad. Oh, Crystal Ball. Hermit. So we're not going to take the Crystal Ball, but we are going to take the Joker card instead of full health. I don't feel like as bad about this as you might think, because we only have 3 HP anyway. So full health is, its value is proportional to the amount of HP you have, and we don't have that much. The problem is if we use the Joker card on this floor, we don't get Jack for it. It's a scary situation there. We would just get teleported to a trip down to Shoal if we wanted to. Empress card, we can take into the fight. Yeah, I think it's worth it. And this is Tears Up, that's good. But yeah, the Joker card we'll use on the Cathedral and hopefully be able to trade some HP for maybe a really, really stellar deal. There's not that many deals I can actually take because our HP is not very good. So it has to be like a deal that seriously blows the doors off. It has to be Mom's Knife, pretty much. Or Brimstone. I would probably do it for Brimstone. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting situation. That Joker card could be the savior. That extra HP feels pretty good, too. I forgot that we had one more HP, or one more boss drop. Alright. I gotta go because I got me a boss drop, and if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop. Had to stop at a red light, looking in the mirror. Not a policeman in sight. Anyway. Wait, it wasn't a police officer. Alright, I got my... It's been a while since I listened to It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. Looking in my mirror, Not a jacker in sight. That's it. Not a... I was gonna say looking in the mirror, not a copper in sight, but what this is, the song was not recorded in the 1920s, so I didn't even use the Empress card. I was too busy doing my Ice Cube impression, Mr. Cube, as I call him, because I don't know him that well. I'm not on a first name basis with Ice. Ever tell you guys, like, you know the song "Pretty Fly for a White Guy," where I'm trying to think of how the lyric goes, but first let's go to our room here. Ugh. This is actually a tricky situation. Because we could take Guppy's Paw. If we took Guppy's Paw, then we would get, like, we'd be up to 10 Spirit Hearts. I think we have to take Guppy's Paw instead of the Mark. We could take both, and that would actually augment our speed a little bit, but I think would give us too little HP. I think we have to do like this and just try to coast on this many Spirit Hearts. Even though the Mark, it's kind of, if it hadn't been Guppy's Paw there, if it had been something like, let me think of an example. If it hadn't been the Mark, if it had been like the Nail. Sorry, if it hadn't been Guppy's Paw, if it had been the Nail, I would have ended up taking the Mark, I think. This is full health, which is meaningless for us now. But because Guppy's Paw was there, and it's like Guppy's Paw is completely contingent, its usefulness is completely contingent on your amount of HP, I felt like this is the right decision. It's possible that no right decision would make us win, or it's possible that this is the decision that is wrong. But, we'll see. Anyway, in the song "Pretty Fly for a White Guy," they asked him to bring some tunes, or they asked for Ice Cube, but he brought Vanilla Ice. I was so ignorant of the hip-hop community. I was also 10, but I was so ignorant of the hip-hop community that when they said they asked for Ice Cube, but he brought Vanilla Ice, I thought they were having, like, sodas, right? So they're like, "Hey, dude, get some ice." And he's like, "Okay, ice cubes, right?" And then he goes to the store, and he's like, "Do they want ice cubes? I see this thing called Vanilla Ice here," and I thought Vanilla Ice was, like, some kind of flavored ice cube. I was 10. Just, it helps to remember all the dumb stuff you believed when you were younger. Just, you know, it's like having a Roman triumph or something like that. You know, they would have the consuls parade through the center of the city, and they'd have someone whisper in their ear, like, "You're mortal, you're gonna die," you know, so that they didn't get too cocky, I guess. That's like, whenever I am doing okay at Isaac, I might actually win. It helps to remember that I also was very dumb as a 10-year-old. Or at least ignorant of the hip-hop community. Like, to not even know who Vanilla Ice was. He was just, like, probably, like, 2 years before my time as far as, like, you know, knowing popular music goes. I'm pretty sure I was, like, 3 when Ice Ice Baby charted. Alright, Anarchist Cookbook is god-awful for us, obviously. We do have a chance on this run, but I think what gives us that chance is the chest. We have to beat Isaac ourselves. We'll have a lot of invincibility. Well, depending on how much damage we take in the process, we could have a lot of invincibility. And we might need all of it. We might even need more than we have. But if we can do that, then the chest gives us a chance to pull out a victory here. Finding the boss early-ish is very helpful in the process. And you know what? We lost 3 Spirit Hearts on the chest, or on the Cathedral leading up to the boss. I don't think that's that bad. I think that's actually pretty good. Alright, so we are going to try to avoid taking damage. We're not going to be shooting that frequently, but we have Blue Candle as well, which should allow us to help, you know, sort that out. So every time we get hit, we're only doing, like, maybe 5% of his total HP. So we need to be really heavy on the free damage here. We can only get hit twice per segment, which is actually looking like a little bit of a challenge. That's pretty much where we're at proportionally now. So I'm actually going to use bombs. I didn't expect that I would need to, but it's seeming like that's probably the proper course of action. You know, jump in there, make sure Guardian Angel does its business. Got 4 hits left. That was pretty good. Gonna keep shooting some bombs in. We're gonna get out of this. Just fine might be an exaggeration, but we are gonna get out of this. And you know what? If I end up losing this run, there's a lot of things we can chalk it up to, but I really have to, like, pick, or I have to choose, picking up Lard so early is kind of like the thing that catalyzed us not getting deals with the devil a lot, because we took damage as a result of not having very much speed. So we didn't really get carried the way I wanted to here, but this card could be big. It's the world. Well, that's helpful. Still a long way to the boss room. And we want to go with blue candle for sure. We might as well take the bomb bag. We could use the game kid to like sneak through one difficult room or something, but I think blue candle's better on almost every room. So this is a boss fight. This is like the easiest room we're going to encounter on the chest though, so we might as well go through with it just to see if maybe he drops like a regular chest that gives us an item or something. Just gave us some money, but that's okay. Alright, we got like 12 rooms to go to. I'm a little skeptical that we're actually even going to be able to get to the boss, but we're going to try. You know the secret. Oh, jeez. For getting carried on the chest. It's kill whichever mini-boss last gives you the best potential for success. For us, that's going to mean tarot cards. So we're going to be going hard on Wrath here. We already took Lust out. I almost got hit by that. Yeah. Ooh, that was a little scary. And once we kill Sloth last, you know, a Hierophant card would mean the world to me right now. But there are a few that would actually be okay. Or, you know, Bob's Rotten Head. It happens. You know, I'm not going to be too salty about it. It does happen from time to time. So we might as well shoot this just in case occasionally there's some, you know, blue hearts that show up in the fire. It's rare and, you know, slightly risky for us, but that's okay. Again, try to avoid making the green bombs explode in your face. Those bombs did damage to Pestilence. I somehow forgot about that. Normally at this point we just steamroll Pestilence so quickly that I guess it's not that relevant. Most of the time. This is not most times, though. Seriously. Just stand still for like a GD second. Thank you. And die. Die, die. Oh. I was very concerned that something like that could happen, and then it did. Alright. You know the deal. This is very frightening. Oh, this is really bad. So full health, I tried to use it. Occasionally, full health will actually give you like 3 spirit hearts. But I think that's only if you're Blue Baby and you're low on HP, not if you're just like, if you basically turn yourself into Blue Baby. Is that? I really thought that was going to kill me. So I thought maybe the Miter could turn those lovers cards into... Ah, there we go. We tried. It was a bad loss, and it's largely my own fault. But hey, I got to think twice now about picking up Lard in the future. That kind of screwed me there. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.